In a dystopian future where emotions are outlawed and suppressed through daily doses of a mind-altering drug, one man dares to feel. Welcome back to our channel, Rewind and Review. Today we're diving into the intense and inspiring detailed recap of Equilibrium, the 2002 sci-fi action film starring Christian Bale. The film transports us to the rigid, oppressive world of Libria, a society ruled by totalitarianism where emotions are forbidden and the price of feeling is death. The story opens with a grim view of the future. In the aftermath of a devastating Third World War, humanity has determined that emotions are the root of all conflict. The government of Libria enforces the use of a powerful drug called Prozium, which effectively numbs emotions, turning its citizens into obedient, apathetic members of society. The omnipresent authority known as Father controls every aspect of life, ensuring that the people remain docile and free from the burden of feelings. Our protagonist, John Preston, played by Christian Bale, is a high-ranking officer in the government's law enforcement known as a grammaton cleric. These clerics are the elite enforcers of the regime's strict rules, trained in a highly specialized form of martial arts and combat shooting called gun kata. Their mission: to root out and destroy any form of emotional expression and to burn all contraband, books, art, music that could potentially inspire feelings. Imagine a city where every corner is watched, where every citizen is monitored, and where the slightest sign of emotion can mean the end of your life. That's the world of Libria. John Preston is the epitome of this system's success, ruthless, efficient, and utterly devoid of emotion. However, things begin to change when Preston's partner, Errol Partridge, portrayed by Sean Bean, starts exhibiting strange behavior. Partridge, like Preston, is a top grammaton cleric, but he has started to question the system they uphold. In secret, he has stopped taking his Prozium doses, allowing him to experience emotions. During a routine raid, Preston notices Partridge acting suspiciously. Later, he follows Partridge to a deserted area, where Partridge is reading a book, an act of treason in Libria. Confronting his partner, Preston is conflicted. Partridge speaks of the beauty of life, the richness of emotions, and the emptiness of their existence. But Preston, ever the dutiful enforcer, does what he believes he must. He kills Partridge to maintain the system. After Partridge's death, Preston's life begins to unravel. His emotional detachment starts to crack when he accidentally breaks a vial of his daily Prozium dose. At first, Preston is overwhelmed, confused, and even frightened by the sudden wave of sensations. He's used to the cold, emotionless life he's been conditioned to live. Now, without Prozium, Preston starts noticing the world in vivid ways he's never before considered. Colors seem brighter, and the sounds of music become more than just noise. They become profound. His eyes betray his internal struggle as he watches the destruction of art, realizing the beauty that's been hidden from him all along. He begins to understand the lie he's been living, and this marks the beginning of his rebellion. He begins to question the rigid rules he once enforced. In secret, he stops taking his doses, allowing himself to feel. The once cold and methodical enforcer is now gripped by emotions: fear, sadness, even anger. As Preston's emotional awakening grows, so too does his realization that the system he serves isn't just flawed, it's tyrannical. And now he must decide. Will he continue to obey, or will he rise against the regime? The internal conflict is palpable. Preston is torn between his duty as a cleric and his awakening humanity. He begins to secretly rebel against the system, stopping the destruction of contraband and even keeping a hidden cache of books and artworks that would otherwise be destroyed. One of the most significant encounters in Preston's journey comes with Mary O'Brien, a member of the underground resistance known as the Sense Offenders. Played by Emily Watson, Mary is arrested for feeling and possessing illegal items. When Preston interrogates her, she confronts him with the stark reality of what they have lost by suppressing their emotions. Mary's words resonate deeply with Preston, stirring emotions within him that he can no longer ignore. As Preston's emotional awakening continues, he realizes the true cost of the regime's control: a life without love, without passion, without humanity. He begins to see the world through new eyes, and what he sees is terrifying. The more Preston feels, the more he understands the depths of the government's oppression. He discovers that the resistance is more widespread than he thought, and he finds himself drawn to their cause. However, betraying the system is not easy. Preston is surrounded by colleagues who would kill him without hesitation if they discovered a secret. Among them is Brant, a fellow cleric portrayed by Taye Diggs, who begins to suspect that Preston is not as loyal as he appears. In a society where emotions are illegal, betrayal is inevitable, and the cost is life itself. As Preston delves deeper into his emotions, he also delves deeper into danger. Preston's rebellion reaches its climax when he stops taking Prozium entirely, fully embracing his emotions. He joins forces with the resistance, determined to bring down the oppressive regime. The stakes are higher than ever, as Preston must navigate a world where his every move is watched and his every emotion could be his last. With his newfound emotional clarity, Preston's skills as a grammaton cleric become even more deadly. He uses his training in gun kata not only to survive, but to turn the tide against those who have enforced the emotionless regime. The final act of the film sees Preston facing off against the leaders of the government, including the enigmatic father himself. In the final showdown, Preston's journey comes full circle. The man who once lived without feeling now fights for the right to feel, for the right to be human. The battle is not just for his life, but for the soul of a society that has forgotten what it means to be alive. In an intense and emotionally charged climax, Preston's rebellion culminates in a confrontation that will determine the future of Libria. With every move, every shot, Preston fights not just against the regime, but against the very concept of an emotionless existence. His struggle is one of liberation, not just for himself, but for an entire society trapped in the cold grip of tyranny. As the dust settles and the final act of defiance is complete, the film leaves us with a powerful message. To be human is to feel, to love, to experience the full spectrum of emotions. Equilibrium is not just a tale of rebellion, it is a reminder of the essential nature of our humanity. And so, with the regime toppled and emotions restored, the story of equilibrium comes to a close. John Preston's journey from a tool of oppression to a symbol of resistance reminds us that no matter how powerful a regime might be, the human spirit's desire to feel and to be free can never be fully suppressed. Thank you for watching this detailed recap of Equilibrium. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Please also leave your comments down the comments section below on your thoughts about this film and what you thought about this recap. And remember, in a world where emotions are outlawed, feeling is the ultimate act of rebellion.